Hey guys, so good evening. We're back once again for another stocks by request. And as you can see right now, we are seeing a lot of uncertainty, at least in the Philippine economy, brought about by the lockdowns, the increasing number of coronavirus cases that's been going on. And if you've been following the video series, this is something that when we entered 2021, we were hoping, we were expecting that we would not go into lockdowns like this. But based on what's going on, it is what it is. We are seeing shades of how we were April 2020. So this is not something that's good in terms of how the economy is. And as you can see, also no value turnover is so low. As for the entire trading period today, we only had 4.65 billion in terms of value turnover, even though the market closed up at 6,495, closing up at 0.81%. And before I go with the stocks, before I go with the index, the stocks that I want to talk about at least for today is BDO, ACEN, Ali, SM Prime, Globe, PLDT, SM, Puregold, and Converge. Then stocks. What I've noticed also, no, there's not a lot of people requesting anymore for Dito. And if you look at it from a value turnover perspective, the value turnover is quite low already to 93 million pesos after a large amount of transactions that we saw over the past month. We've seen Dito be somewhat, no, in terms of it having a lot of interest in terms of transactions. It's not where it was compared to at some point last year. So before I go with the 10 stocks that I've mentioned, this is where the PSEI is. It's currently holding above the 6425 support level. As you can see right here, it's very, very clear. But even though it's holding above the 6425 level, all of the other indicators from ADX and MACD are still bearish. And if you can see it right now, also the 20, the 50, and the 100-day moving averages are also bearish as well. Then you have this downward trending slope, which started somewhere around the start of 2021, being followed by the 20-day moving average. So if it breaks past this if it breaks past this downward trending slope, then it will just validate this current uh, consolidation that we are having for the markets. 6425 as the support, and the resistance which is also somehow verified by the 50-day moving average at the 6776 level. So that's where we are right now, looking at the market as a whole. So by the way, I know I've been talking a lot about crypto because at least for my own portfolio, I've been placing a lot of time and attention towards it. And I've seen that it's something that's very, very exciting. That I don't know if I just feel that the cryptocurrency market, blockchain as a whole, we are at the cusp of something very, very interesting. That we're so early that a lot of people still don't understand it. But the more you go deeper into it, the more you understand it, the more you see that, hey, this is, I think, what the future is in terms of investment, in terms of money. Anyways, so let's go with the other stocks that I promised to talk about. BDO, ACEN, Ali, SM Prime, Globe, PLDT, SM, Pure Gold, and Converge. And please do note, no, that no matter how much we talk about stocks like this, please never ever buy, sell, hold, or avoid a stock just because I talk about it here in YouTube. It's your money, it's your responsibility. Please take the time to analyze those particular stocks as well. Anyways, let's look at BDO first. What's interesting about BDO also, no, is that it closed with a value. It had the highest value turnover at 387 million. But similar to what happened to it from last week, it closed at 101.5 last week. Then today, we somehow saw it have an indecision candle to make it close. So yeah, last week it was 102. Then we saw it go down to 101.5 with an indecision candle pegging it. So this is where it is right now. Its current support level is still at the 9,900 peso mark. Its current consolidation range is 99.87, which is where your support is. Then you have your resistance at the 105.84 level, which is also where the 20, 50, and 100-day moving average is. So nothing much has changed. ADX, MACD, RSI is confirming that it's currently still moving sideways. And if you look at it, it's still moving in this entire consolidatory range from where we were from March 2020 to where we are right now. And if you're also looking at it from a shorter term perspective, this is its current midterm trend, which started from November 2020 to where we are today. So current progression for it is you have your support at the 99/100 level, then you have your resistance at the 115 peso mark. So what's interesting about that, for those who sent questions, no, and that's what I posted in the video kanina at 8 p.m., that the tools, the skills that you have for technical analysis that you have already learned in Philippine markets, you can use in both US and crypto markets as well. So this is where AC Energy is. Very clear today. No, it had a large amount of price movement, closing 5.33% up to bring it around 7.30, to bring it to 7.31 at the close. So what it did for today is it broke out from the 2050 and the 7.21 resistance. Next thing to watch out for over the next few days, please do note that MACD, ADX, and both 20 and 50-day moving averages are flat, denoting that it's still, from a trend perspective, consolidating. So key thing to watch out for is watch if the 7.20 level will solidify itself as a support. Should that happen, next resistance right now, or the next possible progression of where ACEN could go, is at the 8 peso mark. So please remember also that it has been 721 has been a resistance already since the start of March. So it's been in this level for 5 weeks already, right after a lot of the fundraising that ACEN had. So 721 solidifies itself as a support. Resistance will be at the 8 peso mark for ACEN. Current trend right now is still pretty much sideways. Next, let's look at Ali. For Ali, this is how it looks. Main resistance to watch out for is the 200-day moving average. Main price range to watch out for is the 35.66 level. And please do note also, this is where the 20-day moving average is also meeting the 50-day moving average. But the current range for this, now, if I'll be very, very strict with this, you could put a support at the 33.73 mark. You could put your resistance at the 35.66 mark. And that being said, also, after it broke this level, this uptrend somewhere around March 7, we're now seeing it continually slide lower. So 20, 50, 100, 200-day moving average as of today is bearish. ADX and MACD are also still bearish. Ali is moving towards oversold levels still. So I repeat, 33.75 support, 35.66 resistance, which is also where the 200-day moving average is. So moving again to another property developer, please do note, no, ito yung Ali and SM Prime, in my opinion, because of these lockdowns, of course, they have a large presence in terms of malls. So you can expect revenue for them, foot traffic for them to not be as good. So their tenants also won't be as good in terms of what they're earning. So please also note that part of some deals that they have with tenants are they have sharing of sales, and if of course the malls are not allowed to take in businesses that are not essential right now, it will highly impact the sales that the entire mall is getting as well. So similar to Ali, SM Prime failed to break the 100-day moving average, the resistance at the 37.5 mark. It's now headed towards the support back at the, if you see it right here, it's at the 33.85 level. So it looks, SM Prime looks pretty much similar to how Ali is, sloping downward trend starting from the early point of 2021, sideways movement for the short term. The difference between SM Prime and Ali, though, for Ali, the 200-day moving average forms as a resistance. For SM Prime, the 200-day moving average is acting as a support right now. But ADX just crossed negative over positive. MACD is currently bearish right now. You have 3 straight days of large red candles trying to push the stock lower. So again, all eyes, in my opinion, will be at the 33.75 support level, which is where the sideways consolidation is right here, and which is also where the 200-day moving average is. So please remember also that if it breaks down from this, we could possibly see SM Prime go below, reverse from the 200-day moving average and move from bullish to bearish, which is a price level, or at least a sentiment which it has not gone for since August 19 or August 20, 2020. So it's been 5 or 6 months or so already from that particular period. Anyways, comment below if you're learning, comment if this is something that's helping you. And I just want to make a quick plug that somewhere at the end of May, or somewhere around May, we'll have Stock Smart's technical analysis, which will be via Zoom. For those who want to learn all of this, we're going to tackle candlesticks, support and resistance, trend lines, moving averages, MACD, ADX, RSI, volume-based indicators and oscillators, all of that in a period of 2 weeks. Um, all of that we're going to do during weekend. So if you are watching this and you are from different parts of the world, or at least from Metro Manila also, and want to learn from the comforts of your home live via Zoom, the links are in the description below. You can also read my books, which are available via Shopee and Lazada now. And by the way, for those who want to also learn via YouTube, we have thousands of videos talking about this also in YouTube as well. So anyways, let's continue. I want to talk about for MerryMart right now. This is where MerryMart is. What's so interesting about MerryMart is its sideways progression, as you can see right here, which started somewhere around March. Because of the breakout that happened last week, it somehow went above the 5.21 resistance level. So, a couple of things. Number one, it broke past its downward trending slope, which is very bull for MerryMart. Number two, it broke past its 20-day moving average. That's the second bullish signal for it. Number three, it was a recipient of this crossover right here. So you can see right here, that's another bullish signal. It's a change in direction for MerryMart. Then look at the candle at the time that it did the breakout, large green massive candle. Then it started to break out, then followed by today, which if I'll zoom in, you can see, if ayaw mag-zoom in ang chart. Ayaw mag-zoom in ang chart ko. But you can see right here, the breakout point was 5.21. It's the second day that it confirmed that the 5.21 is solidifying itself as a level of support. Now, that being said, here's the possible resistances for MerryMart right now. You have one at 6.33, then another one at the 8 peso mark. I'll bet that there's a stronger one at the 6.33 level also, because that's where the 50 and 100-day moving averages are all meeting right here, right now. Next is Globe. Globe at medyo madaming sell down ng Globe, no. For the past few months it's been sideways, as you can see right here. But at some point now, after the breakdown of the 1942 level, we've now seen it start to slide relatively lower. So here are the next levels of support for Globe: 1764, and then you have another one at the 1648, 1650 level. At this point, no, this was the last, even at the midst of the pandemic last year, Globe never went lower than this particular level. So what's so interesting also is that since we're in lockdown, this should actually benefit telcos. But the chart is the chart, and the chart is actually telling us that it's still currently breaking down with a resistance at the 1942 level, with a 20-day moving average which functions as a support. MACD and ADX also, from a trading standpoint, is showing you also that they're relatively bearish. Stock is oversold, close to the oversold levels right now. So again, I'll since Globe is something that I always would mention for dividends, the lower it is right now, if you're a dividend investor, the better it will be for you also, because you get to buy the stock at a lower price, hence increasing your dividend yield. However, if you are a trader, it's clear also right now for traders that it's breaking down from the 1942 level. It's breaking down from the 20-day moving average, and the next support levels are what I've plotted here right now. So anyways, next stock to talk about is I want to look at PLDT. So for PLDT, this is how it is. PLDT, your resistance right now is at the 1264 level. Very, very clear. Let me clear this all first. Medyo magulo na. So this is currently the downward trending slope for PLDT. It closed relatively higher today, no, but it still got blocked by this particular resistance level. So at the current range ng PLDT, 1280 is your resistance, 1192 is your support level. Breakout tomorrow from this will lead the stock somewhere around here, which is where the 200-day moving average is. So if you want to put a peg in that particular line, it's around the 1347 level as your next level of resistance, provided that it breaks out from here. Failure to break out from that level, then this current trend and this current range will still be pretty much intact. But one thing, if there's a glimmer of hope from a bullish standpoint, you have a change in direction brought about by MACD. You also have it bounce from the oversold level. So for those who attended our Stock Smart sessions, you do know how this also, what this means for all of us. But from a support and resistance perspective, PLDT right now is at the resistance, which is also where the 20-day moving average is, which is acting as the resistance. And then you also have this downward trending slope right now, which is also acting as a stronger resistance as well. Now we're off to the last three stocks. Comment below if you're learning. And I promise I'm gonna try to do more of this still. It's just that I've been so preoccupied also lately. There's so much that I've been doing. I've also been spending a lot of time trying to learn more about cryptocurrencies, and that's where a lot of my attention is right now. I'm still pretty much in the US markets. I'm still also in the Philippine markets, but alam mo yung you're investing because you know it's the right thing to do, and that's what I'm doing in the Philippine markets. And you know also that when there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of uncertainty, it's a great time to invest. However, it's not just super exciting for me right now. I'm doing it so that later on when things get better also, since I positioned when there's a lot of fear and uncertainty, then I would be okay. It would be something that would be relatively good for me. But in terms of excitement, I'm really excited about Tesla. I'm really excited about Palantir. I'm really excited about Square. I'm really excited about PayPal. I really like Alibaba. Uh, I really like companies that are changing the way we live our lives. I really like companies that are in the right side of change. So yun, I'm still in the Philippine markets. It's just that I'm more excited in US markets. I'm more excited in tech stocks. I'm more excited with cryptocurrencies. So yun, it's just a level of excitement lang naman. Anyways, let's look at SM. For SM, this is how it is. It's still also ranging. No, current support is 949. Current resistance is 1014. I repeat, it's currently consolidating. ADX and MACD though are bearish, but it's not showing us any strength in terms of will there be any push. One thing to note also is it just crossed the RSI oversold levels. It just also bounced from the 949 support level. So that being said, bounce from this possible target, possible resistance will be here 1015. Please do also note that should it break down from this particular level, it would signal also an area for you that hey, I should actually get out of this particular position, especially if you're a trader, because it would signal a breakdown, and the current possible area for it to retrace is that 903 level. And by the way, no, if it breaks down from this 950 area, you could possibly note that there's a narrative that this might extend further in terms of something that's a more bearish undertone. Anyways, two more stocks to mention, Pure Gold. So what's interesting about Pure Gold, when they announced the lockdowns, suddenly we saw a surge of buying towards it, and then the knee-jerk reaction also from a lot of that buying happened right here. We started to see it push, but right now, in my opinion, it's starting also to it failed to stay above the 40.36 level, which would have been the new support, and that's how valid support and resistance levels are. No, failure to hold a certain level will invalidate any other upward movement. So kung nasan tayo ngayon, it's just showing us that it failed to break out this level, that the current narrative that would have brought it upward currently is not possible. And what we're seeing right now is there could be a retracement back here to the 37.9 or 38 peso mark, which is where the 50-day moving average is, which is also where the support level is as well. So that being said, one thing now, if you'd like to really see it pull into an uptrend, it must bounce from this, then eventually break out from the 40.36 level to have some legs and strength for it to start to push higher. But as of now, what we do know from the charts is failed to break out from the 40.36 level, and its current support right now, current narrative where it could possibly go is at the 38.07 level. Lastly, let's end everything with Converge. Converge, it's very, very clear right now. This is where your resistance is 19 pesos. This is where your support is 16.81. So we've seen it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days already, not holding or not at least breaking out from this level of resistance. So should it break out also in the future, no, you can peg this as a resistance level somewhere around the 19.98 mark. And if you really want to be a bit more aggressive, again, this is not as strong, but you could have another one here at the 21.24 mark. If I'll put another support level here, you have one there at the 17.9 level. So possible retracement will bring to 17.88, which is also where the 20 and 50-day moving average is. MACD right now is still above the 0 peso mark, zero line crossing. So that's it for now. I hope you guys got a lot from this. I'm gonna try and do my best to be more consistent in making my stocks by request videos, but I'll do my best for all of you. And if you guys have questions, ways on how you can contact me, comment section, TikTok, because I started the new uh, TikTok account. And what's so interesting about TikTok is wala masyado nagme-message, like lang ng like yung mga tao. So I could easily see your messages there. Patreon, and then Instagram. So those are the four avenues for you to be able to get in touch with me. And if you guys want to know more about it, again, in the description below, we have 1,000 videos that I created in YouTube. The stock market technical analysis course, which is happening this May 2021. Then we also have my books, which where you can read if you love reading more than actually watching videos. And for those who want to invest in cryptocurrency markets, you can invest via Binance. The link is in the description below. For those who want to trade US and cryptocurrency markets, you can also use the eToro platform, which allows you to invest for only 2,500 pesos, or around 50 US dollars. So that's it for now. Marvin Gurmo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.